guys, so today we're gonna talk about the Indian artist Tyeb Mehta. He was born in Bombay and he was a painter very famous for his expressionist paintings. And for this activity we need 2 pieces of color paper. You can pick other colors. If you don't have color paper at home, you can also use a white paper and paint it, and then after cut a big square. You also need white paper. That's gonna be your base. You need a pencil, a color pencil. We're gonna use a brown color here, so you can use any dark color that you have. You also need glue in a stick, 3 markers, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna make a diagonal thunder here. So, gonna make like this. And then I'm gonna go back. So now I'm gonna put some color inside. I'm gonna use the yellow marker and I'm gonna do some color inside. Okay, so alright. So now in my 2 pieces of paper, I'm gonna make 2 bodies, but I'm not going to make them realistic. I'm gonna make them like a distortion of a body. So you can do your own way or you can follow our directions. So let's say, for instance, you're gonna make a head that instead of being a oval shape, you can make with curves, a lot of curves. And then you can make the neck, and then you can make a hand waving with very big fingers, and you can make just 4 fingers, because the idea is that you have a non-usual body shape for this activity. So now I'm gonna make the legs very long, like this, and then I'm gonna make the other arm here, the fingers. Okay, so here I'm gonna make another body. So now I'm gonna make a round head, a neck, and then I'm gonna make 3 arms instead of 2. So I'm gonna make here 1 hand, and then here I'm gonna connect to another arm and then hand. So here I'm basically using curved lines, right? Curves, curves, curves to create and design my body. And then here I'm gonna make the other arm, I'm making a curve. So you can, use your own inspirations to make your own body shape. And then here I'm gonna make a curve, hips, and then I'm gonna make the legs, the foot, another foot. So again, curved lines, trying to mold a non-realistic body, like this. Okay. So now that I have these 2 bodies, I'm gonna cut. So now is also, you have to be creative, because now we're gonna cut. Some parts we're gonna cut around the drawing, like this. And then other parts you're gonna leave the corners of the paper, because we want this mix of curves with geometric shapes. So you can do that in some parts. And then Okay, now around the hand. Okay, and then now I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna make like this. So you can do your own way. You know, the idea is that you have different, you have variations of parts of the body that had, you know, they were cut like right on the line. You have like some parts of the body with like leftovers of the geometric parts of the body, of the paper, sorry. And then now we're gonna do the same with the other paper. Okay, so now we're gonna make this like this. And then cut this. Then I'm gonna follow this. So just try to do in your own way. Again, you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing here. Just follow like the idea. And then I'm gonna make here. Okay, and then now I'm gonna cut some geometric. I'm gonna cut this paper in some pieces. So I'm gonna cut the legs here, and then I'm gonna cut this part of the paper with the hand and another piece. And then I'm gonna cut this part of the torso. And then I'm gonna leave this like this. And then I'm gonna make the same here. I'm gonna cut this hand, this arm with this hand. And then I'm gonna cut this part of the legs, and then I'm gonna cut this part here. So in the end I have two distortions of bodies in different colors with cut in different shapes. Alright, so the idea is that now we're gonna glue some parts of the body following this line, because the thing is that this artist, he was very famous for making a division in his paint through a diagonal line. So let's start to glue some of these pieces. So try to follow this line here, like this. And then, you know, you can like have fun gluing them. You can like, you know, like make unusual like body connections. So you can put like, let's say this arm next to these other arms like this. So that is up to you how you want to design your body. Just try to respect that we are trying to make a distortion and you know, like an unrealistic body. So try to follow this line. So think that this line is like a division in your paper to make different things in each side. So I'm gonna now put, let's say, I'm gonna now put this part of the head and the torso right here. And then you use your glue stick. Okay, so now I'm gonna glue these legs. I'm just gonna cut a little bit more right here. No, I'm gonna actually glue here. And then I'm gonna glue this hand. Let's see, a nice place. I'm gonna put like this, but I'm gonna cut this part here. Like this. Okay. So now with your marker, you can paint, you can use it to fill some spaces. like this, to like create a variation, you know, of colors and shapes, like this. And then I'm gonna just do here a little bit. And it's fun because you see that the blue market with the orange paper changes totally the color of the market. It looks like a dark blue color. Okay. And then now, okay, then now with this color, this blue color, I'm just gonna fill up all the space around. Okay, so you can use paint as well, but we're gonna use the marker. And then I'm just gonna fill up until the diagonal line. So Tyeb Mehta was also very famous because he was one of the first contemporary painters from India, and his style was a mix of European art, what was being made in Europe, the modern art is made in Europe, with also a lot of Indian reference. So he painted a lot of the Indian godness, but in his own way, and using colors that were also very inspired by the Indian culture. So he was very inspired by the Indian pigments and the old Indian paintings from the from other centuries. So now I'm just gonna do this last part of the page, this part here, and then we're gonna put color here. So you can use also paint if you want, or watercolor. We want to use this very like strong color of the marker. Okay. And then once you're done, you can have ready. Okay, so now we can have ready another color for this side here, and then you're gonna repeat the same. First, you're gonna just put some colors in some parts of the pieces of paper. So I'm gonna put this brown right here. Because again, we want to have different shapes, different variations of colors, you know, we are playing with that. And then I'm gonna do this here. And then now we're gonna fill up all the side of the paper with this other color. Now, more color. And now this side. And then you can also pick other colors. You know, these colors are very important because they're like, you know, appearing so much in your work. So if you want, you can pick bright colors, you can really use your imagination. And here we have our piece inspired by the Indian painter Tyeb Mehta, and now we're gonna learn about him. Tyeb Mehta was born in Mumbai, India in 1925, and his family used to work in the movie industry. And at first he was a film editor until he fell in love with painting. After he graduated in art school in his hometown, he was part of the Bombay Progressive Artists Group, which was inspired by European modern art and also Indian culture. He lived a few years in London in his late 20s, which was also a moment that influenced a lot in his later on pieces. And back then, the Expressionist art was very strong. And Expressionism is a way of representation where the focus is on the human figure, and the human figure has a very dramatic aesthetic. Another very strong characteristic of Expressionism art is a distortion of human bodies, and that is something that you could find almost in every single painting of him. Mehta developed his signature style that was canvas showing the human form broken into irregular shapes of solid color. His most famous works are from the Diagonal series, and those paintings have a diagonal line crossing the canvas and creating two different spaces on the canvas. And in general, he used to put one of them with a human body in a distortion, and the other one a representation of an Indian goddess. And that was really new for back in the day because he was one of the first artists from India to put together something from the Indian modernism art with the Western art together. Also, every color that he chose to put in his paintings have something to do with the subject matter. And for instance, one of his most famous paintings have exactly the same color from the Indian flag. In his paintings, you can also find a lot of situations that are related with political things that happened in India in the years that he was painting. And Tyeb died in 2009 in India, leaving the legacy of being one of the most famous painters from the Indian modernist art.